Hello, everyone. I know, 2 nights in a row, believe it or not. Um, Hello. Thanks for joining. Hi. It's nice to see you, Abby. We're starting up Tea Time Tuesdays again. Hello. And we're going to wait for Seth to get on here and then we'll start. If you want to stick around, hi, Tiffany. It's nice to see you. Um, if you want to stick around, it's going to be like a podcast style live. It's me and my best friend. And we just kind of shoot the breeze and try to make you guys laugh. And we talk about a bunch of silly nonsense. If you're interested in sticking around, please do. I'm going to record this and upload it on YouTube for later. So if you're like, ooh, I got to peace out, but I want to hear it later, it'll be on YouTube. So don't stress at all. Yes, it is Tea Time Tuesdays. I do have my tea here. Yes, you are so welcome, of course. It's so nice to see you too. We're going to talk about a bunch of things tonight. Some magic, some not magic, some music, some nonsense and debauchery. Lots of fun stuff. It's nice to see you too, Tiffany. I love you. If for some reason you're able to stick around, I might need you to moderate. I'm not sure who we can get on here for moderation just yet. But just let me know. Tonight I am drinking a Assam tea. It has honey in it and a little bit of oat milk because dairy hurts my belly. Oh my gosh, hi, how are you? Okay, let's see. All right, we got Seth. I'm gonna invite. Okay. Oh, I see him. All right, let's see. Jules, what's your opinion on Robert Eggers' choice to do a werewolf movie? Also, oh, hang on. Let's see. We got Seth here first.
Hi.
Oh my God. What are you doing?
There we go. Let me turn my volume up. There we go. Okay.
How
Hi.
are you?
Good. Today's been a little insane,
Yeah.
but it's been okay. Oh my goodness. Hi, everybody. Whoa, all these comments just like popped up all quick. Okay. Oh my God. Do we have a moderator?
Let's see. We don't have a moderator yet, but I
Okay.
did. I saw Tiffany here. I
Oh,
said if you're able to,
good.
that'd be amazing.
That'd be great.
Um, let's see.
Mm,
Hi from Needles and Fire on my way home from up. Oh, okay,
mm,
that's
mm,
too funny.
mm.
So we'll see if we can get somebody on here to do moderation.
Yeah, that would be good. But how are you doing? You look stunning.
Thank you. I'm doing quite well. I made some tea,
Oh,
so
excellent.
I figured it was appropriate for Tea Time Tuesday to have tea. So
Yeah,
I went
yeah.
ahead and I did that. So.
I made straight
Um,
up coffee, man.
yeah,
I've just been going on fumes today. Well, we didn't go to bed after our ritual till like 5 in the morning.
that's sure.
So,
Yeah, that was interesting.
yeah,
Last I figured we would talk about that too in this live about
yeah,
just
yeah.
everything that's been going on, you know.
And then I packed orders for another hour, then laid down and woke up and just kept doing it. So
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
I was
That
just
can be
like, oh my
pretty
goodness
heavy.
gracious.
Yeah, I mean,
But
let's see. Add. Okay, yes, we have Tiffany as a moderator. Thank you so much, Tiffany.
yay.
All
Thank
right.
you, Tiffany.
Okay,
Okay.
so we did get a question right as you came on about our opinion on Robert Eggers, who just did Nosferatu, doing a Wolfman film.
Oh, that'd
Um,
be cool.
I thought so too. Now, listen,
Yeah.
I am a die-hard vampire fan. Believe
Yeah.
it or not, shocking. Um, but I think it would be really cool to see him do a Wolfman film. So I'm really excited
I think that'd be
for.
cool.
Yeah,
He's got the aesthetic for it,
yeah, I agree.
and so, oh, hi, Dom. Um,
Terrific. Oh, thank you.
Charlie, no. He's got the aesthetic for, I wonder what, I don't know. He might make it really, really good. I don't know.
He might, yeah. You know what else? I would love to see him do like because okay, so people are saying they're like nervous about Labyrinth because apparently he's signing on to do Labyrinth, and
Oh,
I think it'd
no.
be I know I think it'd be interesting. Let's try to see. You know,
Yeah.
I also would love it if he did an adaptation of Carmilla.
Oh,
Um, I
that'd be
thought so too.
cool.
I thought that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So I'm gonna I'm gonna go ahead and assume that anything that he does is probably going to be very good.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed The Witch. I enjoyed The Lighthouse. I haven't
love
seen
The
The
Witch.
Northman though.
I
That's the only one.
I haven't seen that either. I love The Witch. Um, that's probably one of my all-time favorites that he's done.
Yeah,
Um, it took me a while to process Nosferatu because of being in public with people that were really disrespectful through the whole
yeah,
film. And so, and I want to see now we can see it again. I think you can watch it at
yeah.
home.
It's they
So,
have it on digital now, so you can actually watch it online. I want to get I'm a dork. I like the physical media. Next month, the physical media of it comes out, so you can get it on like Blu-ray and things like that.
yep,
Um,
yep.
so that'd be cool. Chelsea, the brand of lipstick I am currently wearing is NYX. I don't remember the shade of black it is. And the other one, I have to remember. I'm not sure what the other brand is. Oh, Jolie Beauty is the other one. I don't remember the shade name though. But those are the two brands I'm wearing currently. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
my audience at Nosferatu, thankfully, was quiet because it was mostly older people. But I will say this, it was a little awkward walking out and being like, oh my God, I loved it. And everybody was like, that didn't make any sense. I don't know what,
Yeah.
there wasn't a story that was so boring. And I didn't feel that, I did not feel that way. So,
There
yeah.
was, I'm just gonna be honest about it. There was a lot of yuppies
Mm,
that didn't know what they were walking into on Christmas Day.
yeah,
They
definitely.
just wanted to get away from their families and go see something. And it was just the level of like disrespect and people being
Yeah.
inconsiderate was, I mean, the guy next to me took his socks and shoes off and put his feet up right by my face, and I was like, dude, are you effing
Oh,
serious?
oh
Like,
my God.
I'm
That's
like,
disgusting.
I am not bigger than this. I will bite
Mm,
you to make the film look more real to you. And but yeah, it was a weird, I wanted to just enjoy it.
yeah.
And
No,
so
no, I get it.
and I was like, man, I go, usually when I see this many yuppies, something's not gonna go right. So
Yeah.
but
It's,
yeah.
I think,
Hmm. Let me
media
try to
literacy
adjust
is dead,
this.
as commented in our chat. Media literacy, I believe, is dead. I think that a lot of people, especially at least in our country,
Mm.
for some reason appreciate stories where your hand is held the entire time. And I get it, sometimes having like where it's entertainment and it's you don't have to think much about it.
Yep.
Take like some Marvel movies. It's very laid out. Here's what's happening. Here's the story. Here's the bad guy.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not going to fault media for doing that, but I do think when you have period pieces that are in like old English or using another
Yeah.
language, and it is a slow build up to a storyline, some people they think that there is no story. They're like, what's the plot? What is it trying
Right.
to tell us? And I That's why I made it a point in my review to say that this is not a film that deserves a sequel because it's a complete story.
Yeah. I
It's
agree.
from start to finish. It tells a story.
Yep.
There's a heroine, and she, saves the day at the end of the day.
Yep.
Um, and I don't think a lot of
That was
people
it.
like that, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it was people focused on the wrong things, and you could tell people never watched the original one, and
Yeah, I agree. I
or
agree.
any or any of Robert's other films, because all his films have this really subtle, um, I'll say flirtatious because I don't think we can say the other word on
Yeah.
here. Flirtatious, like undertones, like that's just kind of how he is with his stuff. And it worked. It really worked.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Aesthetically, it was beautiful.
Hmm.
Like I would rock that coat,
Yeah.
Orlok's coat.
Yeah.
That coat was amazing. And so. Yeah, I would have rocked that. And I just loved all of that. I am not, to be completely honest, I am not a fan of Johnny Depp's daughter. I've never been a fan of her.
Lily Rose, yeah.
Um, yeah, and she did okay in this though. She was a little over the top, but she actually did okay in that flick. So,
Yeah,
which mug? Jules's
my mug.
mug or my purple and black one? I I freaked out because I by accident. You remember when I broke my other one like
I
this,
do,
and
yeah.
they're
Is
like
it the
limited
Haunted?
it to
It's the Haunted
yes.
Mansion mug, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
And they were limited edition, and I just happened to know someone that worked at Disney in Florida, and she said we have two left. I'll send you one, and she kept one for herself and sent me the other one. I was like, oh, thank goodness.
Opportune timing.
I know it's
Um,
like my most favorite mug ever. So, um,
let's
film
see.
when it, but
Um,
when
then we've
why?
got, let's see.
Let me. I don't know why everything. Oh, there we go. I made the comments come up. Okay,
Yeah.
there we go.
Let's see. Jen had asked, what about Midsummer? Did you see Midsummer?
That's the pagan one,
Yeah,
right?
that
I don't think I
was the
did.
one where like the couple who's like on the fritz goes on they go on like a vacation, I guess.
No, I wanted to see that. I have not seen that yet.
Yeah, that one.
I have
That
not seen that.
one. Listen,
Yeah.
that one was. I thought it was very
Mm.
good. I personally prefer Hereditary over
Hered
Midsummer.
Hereditary was. I had to watch that one with Byron. I
Yeah,
couldn't watch it alone.
that was intense. Yeah, that one was
That
definitely
like kind of
intense.
jacked me
Yeah,
up.
that one was.
I was like, "What am I
Yeah, that one
watching?"
was intense, especially with the piano string. Like
Yeah.
that was
Mm.
crazy. That was very good. Midsummer,
Yeah.
like by all means, is not a bad movie whatsoever.
Yeah.
It wasn't my favorite if I had to decide from that director, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's
There's a
see.
new one I keep seeing advertisements for called Sinners. I have no idea what it is. And I can't tell if it's a vampire movie or if it's the same producers that did Them, the show.
Oh, I'm making a video about that. Thank you for bringing that
Yeah.
up. I'm going to be making a video talking about that. Sinners is a vampire movie with Michael B. Jordan. Yes,
Yes. And
it is a vampire.
I was
Got
like,
twin
what is,
brothers.
ooh,
Hmm.
yeah, I saw this little quick advert report. I'm like, oh my God, I have to find
Yeah.
this again. And so, but and, and sorry, let me scroll up.
Let's see.
Okay. The Goth Nobody. Why is it a flick when it involves a woman, but a film when it involves a
I
man?
think
Um,
that you can use the term interchangeably. I don't think
yeah,
necessarily has anything to do with like gendered language by any means.
yeah, I call everything a flick. That's such an 80s thing.
I
I
was gonna
never
say, yeah, I think
stopped.
it depends on
And,
what era you grew up in.
yeah.
Ultimately, I say film
Mm.
because I'm 1,000 years old. I went to the cinema to see a film.
And I was born in the 1880s, so I say
Mm,
flick.
it's a flick. Oh my
So,
God.
we joke about it because the DMV gave me my new driver's license, and they by accidentally put my birthday down as being born in 1876. Um, and I wanted to keep it, and the woman was so scared she was going to get fired that she took it back, and um, and then she changed it to 1976. But so in my mind, I was born in 1876. So I'm just like, well, that had to happen for a reason. It was probably a past life.
Yeah, it's
So
probably
that's
past life.
my new birth year.
Probably a past life. Yeah, I definitely understand that.
Hmm.
Oh my God.
I laughed at that. It was really funny.
Let's see. Flick over
The clicker. I
keyboard.
do call it a clicker.
He does call a remote a clicker. You're right, though. He does say
Or
that.
the dog's toy, one of the two, because I treat
Hmm.
it like a toy.
Yep. Let's see. I
So,
really like the movie. Just wish the final scene was more primal. I just felt like he pined over her for so long. It could have come off like he wanted her more. I I mean, I understand where you're coming from for sure. I think that I just was so crazy about the concept of like a disgusting, decrepit vampire movie, as opposed to like a really romantic, like beautiful one. I felt that it was just like so cut and dry. Like it is a monster. You know, I don't want to say a curse word because we're
I
uploading to
know we have to be
YouTube,
careful.
but yeah, I it was for people who like to read about people who are interested in having intimate affairs with monsters. For me personally, it really satiated that. I thought it was really good,
I don't
but
know
I
why he
definitely
wa
understand where you're coming from.
I don't know why he wanted to sell his castle for a new one because his original castle was kind of bad, cool,
You know,
amazing.
it
It's
kind
so
of
hard
it
not
had.
to cuss.
I feel like it's fine. The main thing is about monetization, and at the end of the day, like we haven't
Yeah,
monetized yet, so it's not that big of a
yeah,
deal.
you're right. You're right. You're right.
Um, Imagine
I
we
came
had the
out of the
same.
womb with a sailor mouth,
I know,
everybody. So this
seriously.
is hard for me.
Tiffany said, "Imagine we had the same birth date in every lifetime." That's very funny.
That would be
I've
interesting.
always thought, wouldn't it be funny if everyone born on the same day was actually the same soul? You know
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean?
like split
Like
up and
split up.
shared with each other.
Yeah, because like I share a
Interesting.
birthday with Rembrandt, and I didn't know that. And Rembrandt was
Mhm.
is one of my favorite painters. And when I learned it was he had the same birthday as me, I thought that was like so profound.
And we went and saw him in real
And we
life
went and saw
together.
him. And we went and
So,
saw him, and it was supposed to be an exhibit
yep.
here in Pittsburgh. It was an exhibit specifically with like it was like paintings of Rembrandt, from Rembrandt, I think is what it said. I don't think it said of Rembrandt.
Yeah.
And we get in there, and there's one painting, and what is
Yeah.
the painting of? Rembrandt's face. It was a self portrait, which I have seen
Yeah.
before, and I was like,
Uh-huh.
you got
Yeah.
of all the paintings, it's a painting of himself. Like I've seen the man. I want to see his art. Like I know
Yep.
it's obviously his art of himself, but I wanted to see something else.
Mm.
Let's see. I'm so far behind on watching any new movies. I'm stuck rewatching The Lost Boys, Labyrinth, etc. Yes, currently
I'm
watching Coming to America for the 1009th time. I don't blame you.
I don't blame you either.
I think that
Like,
right now, as somebody who I like to go to I like to go to the cinema with my darling Angel, and
mhm.
we we go and see, like we watch everything at the end of the day, and if I'm being totally honest with you, there have been a lot of very disappointing films that have come out recently, in my
Yeah.
opinion, just for the sake that they were so hyped up, and then when you watched it, the climax of the film was already told in the trailers, so the film itself was quite boring.
Yeah.
In
That
my just in
hap
my opinion,
happens a lot.
happens a lot. Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm like, we basically just watched the movie. Like, that's
yeah. Like
nice. So,
oh
so yeah, I thought that was kind of funny.
yeah,
But I wouldn't want to be associated with J-Lo
yeah.
either. Tell you what, but not she probably doesn't even care. She just probably cries with her money.
Yeah.
But yeah, but still she's just a horrible human.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Let's see. Audiences alone keep me from the theater. I do agree.
Yep,
Um,
that's
the
my
one
problem too.
I like to go to the showings that are usually later at night, and also during the week. The cinema here, my beautiful fiance and I, we usually go on Tuesday nights because it's half off tickets, so we do that.
Yeah.
And we go and see, just whatever's on. The most recent one, obviously, we saw was Nosferatu, and prior to that, I don't recall what we had seen. Oh no, we saw Longlegs prior to that.
Yeah,
Actually, it
you
was
saw long legs.
I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah.
A lot of people were critical of it. That's fine. I think because it hit so many nostalgia marks for me on my checklist, I was like, okay, I like this. This
Yeah.
is very good.
Yeah.
That's
I
that's
have not seen it either.
I know I got it. I'm going to say something controversial. I'm not interested in seeing the second Beetlejuice film. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I didn't
Mm-mm.
want to see it in theaters because I didn't want to be disappointed in theaters. So I definitely relate to what you just said. And I also I don't know. Like, I'm a weirdo. When something's too talked up, I feel like I've seen so much of it that I'm going to be disappointed. And I
Yep.
hate being disappointed when it comes to like art, film, things like
Yeah.
that, music, when something's really hyped up and then it kind of like flatlines. It's like, wow, I put a lot of emotional weight into this being really good and it wasn't.
Yeah. I know. I get the same way. I try not to, but and I don't have an interest in really seeing it, and so a letdown, yeah.
Oh, it
This
was. Oh,
that's a great way to say that nostalgia bait is getting old, and
it
that is
is.
the thing
It
because
is.
even new movie, and they're doing it with music.
They are 100% doing it with music. They're
Yep,
they're like, "Oh, 20 years ago, this was my best-selling album. Let's recreate the formula." And
yep,
it sucks. It
yeah.
sucks with a lot of bands.
Yeah, it really sucks and it keeps happening. And I'm just like, just some things just leave good enough alone. Like just really leave good enough alone. Like if someone ever tried to redo The Lost Boys, I would flip my shit. I really would.
I don't think that's one they'll touch. I
I
really
don't think
don't.
so
I
either. I
don't
hope
think
not.
so. Just like I don't think that they will touch Near Dark.
Nope.
I don't. I think you know what I mean. I don't think they're gonna touch ones like that. Um, one that I had asked on YouTube for recommendations on movies that people want me to
Yeah.
review, and somebody brought up David Lynch's Nadia film,
Oh yeah.
and I haven't seen that in years. I forgot it
Yeah.
existed. That's another one I don't think they would ever recreate. I think that that
No,
one is like
I don't think
iconic
so.
because of David Lynch.
Yeah. David Lynch is iconic,
Yeah,
and I've really felt some deep sorrow when he passed.
I know.
And just because he was part, not that we knew each other, but he was part of my life since the 80s.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah,
you feel like you're part of them because you know who they are for so long. And to me, everything he did was gold,
yeah.
but
I get it. I
and
get it.
so yeah, I was heartbroken with that. And but he'll always live on because I think his son is a producer too, and he's pretty good at doing everything.
I
But
think you're right. Yeah,
so,
I think you're right. Let's see.
but
Dominic
I was
said,
heartbroken.
um, Lost Boys would end up like the new Crow movie. I don't want to talk about it.
Oh,
I don't.
gross! I can't
I
believe
don't want.
we watched the little trailer for that, and none of us went and saw it after
I
that.
I remember I had did I think I sent you the
Yeah,
trailer and I
yeah,
said watch this right now.
it was
And we
horrible.
watched it and we called each other and we were like, this is an abomination. Like
That
for
should
so yeah.
never be touched.
Now listen,
But
I really like FKA Twigs. It's nothing against her.
yeah,
And the Skarsgård brother, you know, he's he's a good actor. You know, like at the end of the day, I'm not gonna poop on him either.
yeah,
But it I think it was the first off, they gave everything away. And I understand it's a remake, but like, come on. You're gonna give
yeah.
everything away?
I
Everything
know.
away? So
Yeah,
we didn't we didn't watch it. I had no interest.
even the music in the trailer sucked.
That was shocking.
I was like, "What?" Like, this is nothing like
Yeah.
Burn. Like, this will not go well. And we never heard about it again after that.
Yeah, I think that it was when I check because I also like to check the box office ratings and like how much money comes in and
Hmm.
goes out and that kind of thing, or how much the budget was compared to how much it was for the opening weekend. That movie tanked, unfortunately.
Yep.
And I think
Yep.
that it was projected to tank the moment they put out the trailer. That's what sucks is
Yep.
people saw the trailer and they were like, "Oh my God, this is atrocious. I
Yeah.
would never watch those."
Mm-mm.
Um,
They tried too hard to make it look. They just tried too hard to make it aesthetically pleasing to I don't know who. I don't, no one we know dresses like that, or it just was, the trailer sucked. You just knew the movie was going to suck.
my assumption is what they tried to do was to appeal to Gen Alpha.
Yep,
Is that
I think so. I
right?
think you're
They
right.
were trying to have it be like their Crow film of their generation.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, that is a film that was successful one time,
Yep.
once,
Yep.
one time,
Yeah.
and that's it. You know, I don't. I really dislike when they try to modernize film. That's so funny. Tiffany just said the same thing. They tried to make it modern. Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't like when they try to modernize films. I don't. I don't like watching films that have iPhones in it. I don't like watching phones that are like super high tech unless I'm watching like a hyper realistic future film.
Yep.
That's a little different, obviously, but I feel like it really lost, I don't know, the essence of the film by making it in modern times. But
Yep. It didn't grab
just
us at all.
a
I
grandma
was,
over here,
it's crazy. It's just
yeah,
true, but
old grandma
um,
over here.
the original is good, and it's just like the hunger. Like, don't ever touch
Oh my,
that ever.
first off, let me tell you something. That is another film. What are you
Hmm.
gonna get Bauhaus again?
Yeah,
No. What are you gonna do? You can't.
you can't.
You
You just can't.
yeah no. Mark say from that.
Mm,
I know. Seriously,
hmm.
that's how I felt
Yep.
when everybody was like, you know what it is, because obviously we're in the goth community, and
Yep.
that includes film too, and obviously we get roped into it. It's
Yeah.
just like how for the first 20 years of my life I was gifted Nightmare Before Christmas merch, even
Hmm.
though I did, I'm not really a fan.
Yeah.
Um, and it's the same with this. You get asked like, "Oh, you're gonna go, see the new Crow film," and it's like,
Yeah.
no,
No.
I don't want to. I'm sorry.
Mm-mm.
Eric had a mullet. You're right, exactly.
Oh God. Yeah. It's just crazy. Like, mullets happened once. Rat tails happened once, and that's where they should stay in those eras. Those should never come back. They're not a thing any. Well, I guess certain trailer parks, I guess some people have mullets, but
I think it's
you know.
a cultural thing. It depends on where you live.
Mhm.
It depends
Yeah.
on, like, that's what it is.
If
And
you're
I think,
white,
yeah,
you have a
you know, it,
mullet.
whatever. I think of what's that film? No, excuse me, it's a television show. Trailer Park Boys, the Canadian one. I
Yep,
think of that when I think of mullets, and I think
that's
of
hilarious.
that's a hysterical show. I think it's
Yeah,
very,
it
very
is.
funny.
Hmm.
But that's what I think of, and to you know, not to be mean or anything, I just think that the modernization of the Crow is like it just they missed the mark,
Mm-mm.
and I think that they need to hire people who are more within, I think, our generation as opposed to older generations being like, what do the kids want? What
Yeah.
can I throw to the kids?
How do we see what they really like out
Face
there?
tattoos and mullets.
It's
I don't know. I think
uh,
that's it. So,
it's crazy. And there's this on Facebook, there's this community, I guess. I'm part of both the Elder Goth and Elder Punks community
mm,
over there. And so I get to see, like, some of them are like way older than me too. Some of them are in their late 60s and 70s. And it's interesting seeing their take on
mm,
things. And so they really view like old flicks, like the originals, don't mess with them and all that stuff. And I remember they just went to town ripping apart The Crow before it even came
yeah,
out too. And so,
wouldn't surprise me.
yeah, so, oh yeah, a good pair of socks is good.
Yeah, I'm at the age where if I get a good pair of socks for Christmas,
Hmm.
I'm
Yep.
feel taken care of.
I want a
Um,
nice hoodie and a pair of socks,
yeah,
and then I'm set. So,
yeah. I really wanted a good pair of slippers this Christmas, and someone
hmm.
gifted them to me, and
Oh,
they're the kind that have the arch support.
mm, hmm.
I feel seen and also heard, so
That's really
they're very
nice.
appreciated.
I know.
Um,
I Because a lot of people do have arches anyways, and I never understood why so many things are flat and why I had to
yeah,
spend 30 extra dollars for an insole with an arch. You know,
yeah. No,
and
I agree.
I'm like, are we just naturally flat-footed
No,
or
no, no, no. Yeah,
a nice blanket too? Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
yeah. Thanks for being here, Chelsea. Yes, when I get this up on YouTube, I'll put the link to this little podcast, Tea
Yeah,
Time Tuesday, for everybody so that you can watch it afterwards. But
yeah.
thanks for being here.
Thanks for being here,
Um,
Chelsea.
um,
And I'm
oh,
just Jules already has her YouTube established. It's
mm,
all mine's been private for like I don't know since 2013. So I am just opening it up and slowly getting on there,
yeah.
and I'm going to do it more. So yeah.
Yeah, I think with the way that things are going, the best option for long form videos is going to be there.
Yep.
Today, or not today, when was it recently? I went to put up a video that was 4 minutes on here, because you can, you're able to,
Yep.
but it did give me a warning that if I upload it, only my followers will be able to see it. So people who are not my followers won't be able to see it. And I was like, that kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? Like, don't you want to
Yeah.
broadcast through a wider audience? Also, oh, thanks for buying a badge for us. You're the
Thank
best. Thank you
you.
so, so much. I really appreciate it. Um, let's see. I'm trying to get my, yeah, yeah. I think that everybody is. The good thing is that the platform has been around since like '06.
Yeah.
I actually, my first account was from 2006. The account I have now, I think I set up in 2021, I'm pretty sure. But it's the best for long form. We can live stream on there. We can put podcasts on there when we get our podcast going. We can do all of that. So I think that it's the best linear move. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
think you're right. We're gonna have to be more focused on it, and that's where it's gonna kind of be
it's the
at, to
best.
be
Yeah, it's the best
honest.
option.
Yeah,
It's
it
just what we have to
is.
do.
So, and we're on it all the time. I mean, most of my music playlists are on there and stuff that I listen to, and I use that more than Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
And so, um, yeah, so I'm just on there more. And so, and if you need to learn anything, you just go
It's
on
right there.
YouTube and you can learn
Yeah,
it.
it's right there. Yeah,
Like, and I
exactly.
think it's amazing because you really don't even need a lot of education anymore. You can just learn everything you ever wanted to learn on YouTube now. I'm sure that pisses colleges off, but I think it's kind of amazing,
Yeah.
you know?
Let's
Um,
see. I am very excited about Vampire Book Club
mhm,
being on YouTube. I know. I'm so happy. I'm
yeah.
gonna have to look into the legalities if we do books, like if we do modern books. I might not be able to put them up on there. I don't know for certain
Oh,
though
I didn't think
because
about
I'm
that.
not monetizing. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So for now, it might be okay. I don't know though. I'll have to see. I know that I'm able to broadcast like this, and I can do this live with books that are outside of the copyright or within the copyright. Books like Dracula, for instance, they are so old that it doesn't matter. It's like public domain, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, so I'll have to look and see what the options are in regards to that. But yeah, I'm really excited that when I was able to download it yesterday, I was like, this is
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I was so happy.
I gotta
Um,
try to start downloading some lives again too. And well, if you're gonna be on my lap, you need to just be flat. There we go. It just has to be with me. Um, but I need to figure that out too.
mhm.
So the last few times I've tried it, it says error and it won't do it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But so many updates and stuff. And but um, the wait.
Have you been noticing the planets as apps? What do you mean by that?
There, yeah, because I'm not quite sure what you
Yeah.
mean. Um,
Elaborate
oh,
what you mean by that. Do you mean like actual apps on the phone, or what
what?
do you mean?
Okay, what did Tiffany say here? Neptune app that's coming out next month for beta testing.
Oh yes, Neptune is
Hmm.
a TikTok alternative, I believe.
Oh,
It's in beta testing in February, so
okay.
it's another platform that you can you know
Oh, wow.
do things on. Um,
Huh.
oh yeah, you're right. Oh, I see what you're saying. Neptune,
Yeah,
Jupiter is also an app. Yes, I understand what you're saying.
gotcha. Interesting.
I have noticed that there are more astrological type names for apps lately, so it's kind of interesting.
I would go with
Um,
Jupiter over Neptune any
yeah.
day, however. So,
um,
mm,
I also I wanted to drop on this live as well because in case anybody's a Nine Inch Nails fan, the tickets for tour drop tomorrow. Well, technically at midnight for their 2025 tour. And if I don't get a ticket, I'm going to sob. So I wanted to let everybody know midnight tonight, I think Eastern Standard Time, we will have the availability for tickets to the tour. So I have no idea how much the tickets are going to
oh,
cost though.
oh my God, I
Um,
know.
I'm a little
I can't.
scared. I'm really
He's
nervous.
pretty good at being kind of affordable though,
Yeah,
because he makes his
I'm
money off his merch,
well,
really.
I literally just pre-ordered merch today.
Yeah,
If anybody wants any of the Nine Inch Nails merch or you're curious about how much it is, there are three items that dropped. There was a hoodie, it was $70. There's a t-shirt, it's $35, and there was a hat, like a baseball hat, that was $30, all for the Peel It Back tour that they're doing right now. So um,
cool.
yeah, so set your alarms if you're interested in Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah,
But I
that'd be
mean,
really
I'm
cool.
hoping realistically, like I'm really hoping it's not more than $150 for a ticket. That would be
Oh my God.
unbelievable.
That's
Who
yeah,
knows?
that's a lot. The last time I
Yeah,
went and saw Dead Can Dance, that was how much my tickets
yeah.
were
I'm not
150
surprised.
bucks.
So
And
I'm really
so,
hoping,
yep.
fingers crossed. Like, regardless, I know that most of like the nosebleed seats, they're over $100, regardless of where you go. If you're going in a stadium, so it's
Yep.
going to be over $100 per ticket. So
Yeah.
it's a
Hey,
little
thanks,
frustrating.
Jennifer. That is. I need to learn Discord too, because that has been highly recommended, and I have not done anything to do with that. And so I'm gonna have to figure that out too
Yeah.
as well. So there's a lot, there's just so much more to learn to be involved with stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just yeah.
Yeah, let's see.
Uh,
Just going is Nine Inch Nails on tour. They are going on tour, yes. I believe it starts in, it looked like it starts in July in Europe. The majority of the US dates are in August, though, of 2025. So,
Hi,
um,
Jenna.
let's see, 150. Yeah, that I know. Well, I saw them in 2014 at Jones Beach in New York, and the tickets were, I think, 75 each,
Yeah,
which that was like a stadium, so that was pretty good. Because Jones Beach Amphitheater is kind of like it's like a stadium. Realistically, it's not really a stadium, but it's an amphitheater, obviously. But it was humongous. It's like a ginormous place that you can go see a band.
yeah,
Um, I've never seen them. You gotta. Oh my god. If it's within your price budget and you are close to it, I think we're gonna end up having to drive to go see them. Because we're in Pittsburgh. I'm not sure which one we're going to do. We're either going to do Ohio, Detroit, Philly, or New York. Boston is also an option too. If I had to, if it was like I'm gonna DIE if I don't see them, like I would end up going there. But um, yeah. So I'm hoping it's not crazy.
yeah, just in case. But I think the last time I saw Nine Inch Nails, they were with Lollapalooza.
Mhm.
It, I can't remember. I think it was right after high school. So it was like probably 93 or 94.
Yeah.
Um, well, yeah, because he had played songs off Pretty Hate Machine. So
Wow.
that was the last time I saw Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah.
Except for
Yeah.
with Pig Face, which was completely different.
Yes.
Um, I mean, part of him still, but different.
Mm.
So, but yeah,
Let's see.
yeah.
Dharma Bean said Nine Inch Nails played with Soundgarden. I saw them too. That was the Hesitation Marks tour in 2014. That was a great show. It was awesome. I loved it. Um, let's see. I'll be going to the Boston show if anyone else has hit me up. Cool, awesome.
Oh no,
Um,
that's where she is now, City of Dreams.
yeah, I'm in Pittsburgh, so if I were to drive to the Philly one, it would be about 6 hours, which I I would do it. Ultimately, it is my favorite band, so I would do it. But it's so funny. So many of us saw them on that tour. I love that. Cynthia, I didn't know you. Cynthia, I
Yeah,
didn't know you like Nine Inch Nails.
Red
That's
Rocks is such a cool place to see
pretty cool.
bands for sure. And it's an amphitheater in the mountain, and it's just like it's crazy.
Yeah,
It's a really cool
yeah,
place um, to see bands. A lot of bands go through there. So,
yeah. The the one in New York this time is at the Barclays Stadium. If I think it's a stadium.
oh,
I really don't want to go to that, so I'm gonna try really hard to
yeah,
go to one of these. I'm assuming we're probably either gonna, like I said, probably Ohio is our best bet. Um, Detroit would be the next closest, and then Philly would be the next after that. So
gotcha.
we'll see.
You something will come up, it'll be perfect. You'll just it's gonna line up and it'll be
Yeah.
perfect. And so you have Dom driving, and we know he's a safe
He's a
driver
safe driver. He is, yes.
because I'm like a mean driver and just start yelling and like and so
Oh
it
my
was really
God.
nice. Like it was nice having Dom drive us everywhere. Not that that's all he's good for. I
No,
love Dom with all my heart,
he's an angel. He's right on this
but
earth.
man, he was a really good driver.
Yeah.
So I've seen
Yes, we do
Ministry.
like filter. Yeah, we like filter in this house and ministry. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Ministry a lot. I'm
Mm.
not a big Godflesh fan. I've never really got into them. Um, I don't know. A lot of people like Godflesh. A lot of people like Alice in Chains. I never really got into Alice in Chains either.
Yeah,
Just,
there's like two songs that
but
I like
yeah.
nostalgia listen to.
You are very good, Dom. You are very
Yeah.
good at being
Yeah. Also,
focused.
City of Dreams, the Barclay Center. I think that's what
Mhm.
it's called, the Barclay Center. Horrible. I every time I've ever gone there for a concert, it's like the worst experience ever. It's like being in purgatory, and if you don't leave at least 25 minutes before the show ends, you will be stuck there for 2 hours trying to get out. So, uh,
Whoa.
yeah, not good.
Yeah.
Um, did anyone mention Deftones is touring as well? I think I saw that they're going on tour.
Huh.
I'm almost certain. Yeah, I'm
We
almost
do love
certain.
Deftones. I don't know if I'd go see them again, but
Yeah,
I
I
love
saw them
them. But
31 times in a row. Um,
yeah, you saw them
and I'm
all.
also friends with them. So I'm at the
Yeah,
point where it's like
yeah,
I thoroughly enjoy watching them, but I
yeah.
don't know if I would go to a show
I don't think
at
I
this
would
point.
do a show
Yeah.
again. Yeah. They were in Denver, back before they were really big. What is the album Boards on? I get
Yeah, that's like
bored. I think it was
their
a first
um
or second album, maybe.
it's the one that has the shell on it.
Yeah,
I can never
it's
think of
white
it.
with a shell on the
Yeah, it has a
cover.
shell on it.
That's
Yeah.
I don't remember the album name, but that when they were in Denver, they were at a skate park and they did that album. It was pretty
It's pretty
good.
cool.
He was
It's
really
pretty
he
cool.
was so young and little. Like it was weird seeing him then versus now, like how we age and how it changes
Mm-hmm.
us. And I don't know. He's still fine. I will always love Chino. Like forever, I will
Yeah.
love him.
Yeah.
So yeah. So Tiffany, I prefer it. If Byron's home, he will be the main driver everywhere. Otherwise, it's I have to, and my windows are tinted so dark. So fortunately, people can't see me yelling at them or having any kind of road rage. And now since my car is paid off, I just will drive like a grandpa
Yeah.
everywhere. So I'm safe.
Oh my God.
So I don't ever
That's
want a car
crazy.
payment again. Oh my gosh, man. So, but yeah, but I get it. But when Byron's he really loves driving and he's good at it. I would prefer to be in the passenger seat.
Yeah,
In the
yeah.
passenger
I
seat, best
listen, I
friends
haven't
ride.
driven in a long time.
Yeah,
I when I sold my car, I just was like I don't I the thing is, I had a Jeep, for those of you who don't know. I had a 2016 a Jeep Wrangler Willys edition. It was a two-door, and the insurance and the payment on it were like astronomical. I just couldn't justify it because I was working from home at the time, and I was using it maybe twice a month or three
yeah.
times a month. You know what I mean? The only times I'd go out were like if I was going to get groceries, but even then,
Mhm.
it was during the pandemic, so they were just I was getting groceries delivered,
Oh
so it
yeah,
was
that's right.
so I
Yep.
really wasn't using my car. So I sold and I haven't had a car since like 2022 now.
Mhm.
But obviously Dominic has a car, obviously. But
Yeah, thank
uh,
goodness. And here you have to have one. You
yeah.
just nothing's really walkable here. Like you just have to have one.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, one for all weather types too. It's like crazy.
Yeah, for
But
sure. For
because
sure.
it was super nice and sunny the other day, and all of a sudden I don't know what we did. We went in somewhere and came back out, and there was already 6 inches of snow. I was like, "What the heck happened?"
Oh my
Like,
God.
I'm like, no.
Jeez Louise.
So, but Yeah, so that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But
Okay, I have
sorry.
some notes
Chucky.
here I actually would love
Yeah.
to discuss because I know some people had questions about it. Do we want to talk about how the first 2 days of the 7 day ritual are going so far?
Oh, oh yeah, we should, which is amazing. Charlie, no. Um, go. Uh-uh. Sorry. He keeps trying to climb up me and it hurts. It's I think it's going pretty good so far. It's a trip,
Yeah.
but we're getting um it's interesting what when you get into certain like ritual styles that like Jules and I do, you can really, really like read the smoke per
Mm-hmm.
se and see what's around people, what's going on. And we could tell what kind of magic people are using, what they should not be fucking
Yeah.
with. Ooh, I did really good. I only said that word once. What they shouldn't be messing with. Um, and and if people are doing stuff to those people, you know,
Yeah.
and we saw a lot of it last night. We saw a lot of stuff being fought and removed off the people. So it was tonight's going to be pretty intense a little bit.
Yeah, tonight's the fourth pentacles of Mars,
Yeah,
so
that
that should
one's
be
gonna
interesting.
kick some ass.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, last night it was really interesting because, uh, later into the
Hmm.
ritual, Seth had been like, "Well, why don't you have Dominic, blow some smoke onto the actual ritual itself, where the candle is, so that you can see if there are spirits around or if there's anything lingering." And some of the images we got were so shocking. Um,
Yeah.
it was so crazy.
Hmm.
Um, they looked, I guess, like slightly human-ish, but not really. It reminded me of faces that were somewhat decaying, like decrepit almost. It was
Yeah.
very, very fascinating. But it's like the spirits of the moon pulling off things from people. And like Seth had said, we were kind of seeing the workings that people are doing and the workings that have been done on other people. So we were kind of seeing all of that. It was very, very
Hmm.
intense, is a good word for it. Yeah, it was very strange, but I liked it.
It it was crazy, and I caught an image of a full skull, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, this needs to be cleared
Yeah.
up." So,
Yeah.
so I knew somebody was doing something
Something
bad.
bad.
I mean,
Yeah.
that could be like even gossip, spreading lies. Like, I mean, it just there when there's enough hate built up, it always comes up as skulls or images of death, like
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Like it just shows your words really do have a lot of power. And so and that I set off smoke alarms, and so that's why I put my smoke alarms in the dishwasher.
Yeah.
Like I don't turn it on, I just put them in there because it seals it
Yeah, we just blocked
because
them out a little bit. Yeah.
everything will be full of smoke. I'm like, oh my God, this is like insane. But um but it's now these planetary spirits that we're working with have never been human. And
Hmm.
so they will never, they'll try to mimic something so we feel comfortable seeing them,
Yeah, like
but they
an
will,
expression almost.
yeah, they, some of them are kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie. When you see them, you're like, what the heck
The
is
one,
that?
the one I got one last night. It looked like Ghostface from Scream. It
It
really,
did
it
look
was
just like them.
freaky. It was really weird. And then
Hmm.
the other one, I got three very clear ones. It was that
Hmm.
one. I got the one that looked like a skull with like parts of it decaying on it.
Hmm.
And then I got the one of the person's face. Like I got two shots in a row. It was like the person's face looking down and then looked up at me like this, right at the camera, and it
Yeah,
smirked. It was so spooky. I loved
yeah,
it.
it was pretty
I
cool.
texted him. I was like,
So
"What is this?"
I
It's like that's a
know
spirit.
I love seeing that. The only other some of the saints will show spirits, but not usually. Unless Saint Cyprian will, and he has showed up very clearly sometimes. Where I'm like, is he angry or is he okay or does he just look like that? Like, but other saints usually don't. Archangels show up usually as like bright specks of light and smoke. It's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but when I do my Talem candles, I just stop taking pictures of the smoke because
Yeah.
those spirits really freak me out, man.
I was gonna say on Saturday, I have a feeling those spirits are gonna be real freaky.
They are freaky. So they do a good job at getting rid of things
Mm-hmm.
that are harming you in your life, but they, by the looks of them, like, oof, man, I wouldn't want you in my
No,
dreams.
no,
Like,
no, 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 no.
so, but, um, so, oops, sorry, my mom's texting me and it keeps popping up. And so, um, but yeah, so it's been going good so far. So we did 2 nights. We have 5 more nights,
Yep.
um, and we have got a bunch of stuff going on this week, man. Thursday I do Saint Expedite, and then we do Jupiter,
Mm-hmm.
and then Friday I do the Cleanse and Protect, and then we do Venus, and then Saturday is Saturday. So there's like a lot crammed into this week,
Yeah.
but it was important that we cram all this into this month for the planetary cycles, so that way when we're moving into February, we can be a lot more lighthearted and open with like working with Eros for Valentine's and working with a few other things. So
Yeah, I agree.
because Eros is our that's our big Valentine's one, and he never disappoints. Um, he loves a lot of praise because he's a pretty boy,
Yeah.
and he gets whatever he wants, but he also really gives a lot to people. So,
Yeah. Let's see. My wick kept going out on its own, so I took that as a sign it was done. Yeah. Yeah.
hmm yeah, yeah. I bring it to the reason I do that with Saturn is because Saturn spirits will not cross any considered holy place. And so, sorry, I keep coughing. That went down the wrong tube. Um, like I have more than one throat or something. I don't know where that term came from. I think it just kind of happens. I just choked on it. And I don't know why I didn't just say that. It's so dumb. Um, but Saturn spirits do not cross holy places.
Yeah.
And so they will destroy your enemies. They will get rid of them for you, like what they're doing to you, gossip and all that stuff. They'll even break karmic patterns that you've inherited, and do their job, and they just want to go and be left alone after that.
Mm-hmm.
So with Talem, that one is so intense because it gets every single seal of Saturn in it, and it's a trip. And so um yep, and usually when wicks go out on a candle prematurely, it's caught something. And so and it knows it cannot, the spirits know it can't burn down anymore because it will release this. It's trapped right now. It's time
Yeah.
to get rid of it. So it's like a self trap. So yeah.
See.
Or wrong pipe, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Um,
where did that term come
I
from? Like
think
it's
it has to do with your like your actual throat and your windpipe.
yeah, I
That's
think you're
I
right. You're
think that's what it has to
probably
do.
right.
I think that might be what it has to do with.
And you
Um,
would think, because I drink coffee every day, that my throat would know where it should go
yeah,
and where it
of
shouldn't
course.
go.
No,
But
never.
no.
Let's see. I also cannot wait for Persephone to come back. Yes,
Oh my
I know
God,
she's with her husband right
it's my
now.
girl, man. I love her so so much, and I wear her oil a lot through the winter when when I give her her space and stuff just to kind of feel it. And so but when she's here, that's my main go-to. I love her so very much.
Yeah,
So
I don't blame you.
yeah.
Um, let's see. What else do I got on here? All right. So, oh, you know what I wanted to touch on? I wanted to see if anybody on here has had any very peculiar or vivid dreams lately. Because I have been having, it's really only if I take like an hour nap during the day, I usually have very profound, vivid dreams. And um, I've had some really strange ones about the world recently, and I know you have too.
Mhm.
Have you talked about your dreams on any of your lives lately?
Let me I think not this last Saturday because it was my birthday, but the Saturday before, I was talking about, oh, it was kind of political in my
Yeah.
dreams. So,
Did you talk about the one with the fog coming?
n oh, maybe I did with the fog coming up, like the groundbreaking in California, and not all of California, it was just parts of it. Um, but this fog coming up from the cracks, and then there was like literal people in tunnels under California that we didn't even know were there.
Yeah.
And then people started getting really sick with this fog. And then knowing that I personally feel these fires were intentional. I don't feel any of this was by accident. I feel that
Allegedly
they,
for entertainment purposes
yeah,
only.
for entertainment purposes only. I feel that they have wanted that area to be an AI smart area, a smart
Mm,
town, a smart living community. And the only way to have that is to get rid of any blockages in their way, and that's
yeah.
what happened. And that's only my perception of it. But um, you know, it just, I usually just talk to Jules about this stuff because I
Yeah.
never want to sound like a conspiracy theorist. And
No, they're dreams, babe. They're
yep,
dreams. We're having
yeah,
dreams with our silly little monkey brains,
yeah,
okay? That's all that's
this
going
is
on.
true. And
Yeah.
so, but we do write a lot of this stuff down.
Oh yeah, I write
Um,
everything down. You have to write everything
yeah,
down.
and a
Um,
lot of our stuff has came, I don't want to say came to fruition because that sounds like it was a good thing.
yeah.
Came as happened.
Yeah, it's a lot of the things that uh we have dreamt about in the last like 2 months, I would say,
hmm
have happened. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying it in the sense that it's like prophetic and we should be like preaching it to people or anything like that, but
No.
it's the
Mm-mm.
case that it appears that a lot of people are having it happen.
Yep.
So it's not just like me or you. It's a lot of people it's happening to, and I don't know if it's because maybe like we're all subconsciously like really tuned in right now, and we're like, "Ugh, something bad's
Yep.
happening," and our brain is just kind of like going through
Yep.
the Rolodex while we're sleeping of all the possible outcomes. But I will tell you this: the dreams I had a dream that I was walking on Long Island where I used to live, and I looked up at the sky, and there was this light that looked like a ball that was kind of like the sun, and was kind of floating and doing weird stuff. And out of it came what looked like something that people talk about on TikTok,
Yeah.
the Dior bags, if you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about on TikTok.
Yes.
Looked like one of those, and it morphed into that, and then it morphed back into it. And in my head, I said to myself, "I gotta write this down," and then I woke up and I wrote it
Yeah.
down. So
We
it's
have
really
to.
weird,
Mhm.
really,
And
really weird.
and look, Jules, the fog did bring sickness with it.
Oh, that brings it
But
weird.
was there a fog?
I
Or was
mean,
it just a smoke? Or was it a
I don't
fog?
know. I don't know. Again, for entertainment purposes
Yeah.
only, there was a period of time where people were like, "There's this very profound, odd fog that's all over the United States right now. What is this?" So,
Um,
I don't know.
I've been dreaming about Russia. I've been dreaming about all kind, and I just tell Jules because I'm like, I sound insane. Like, I'm like, how could Russia be in the tunnels underneath California, starting all this, and clearly, like, eh, that won't happen. But I write it all down because, like, why am I dreaming about it when I don't care about those things
Hmm.
usually? Because you and I really separate ourselves from anything political most of the
Yeah,
time.
I
Like,
just
it doesn't define who we
yeah,
are. Like, we stand up for what is right and do the best we can to protect the people we love and communities that really need help and stuff. And we try not to go past that because I don't want to dream of politics.
no.
I don't want to
Oh
dream of
my
shit like
God, I
that. I think
know.
it's crap. I don't want to dream it. And so, yeah. And so, oh, around the times of the fire, that's terrifying. A month ago, there was a strange fog here.
There was, yeah.
Okay.
I recall when that was happening.
Okay.
I don't know.
Huh.
I'm at the point where I'm just thinking, because of like the Arctic uh, polar shift that's
Yeah.
going on, it's just
Hmm.
changing our weather right now.
Big time.
It's like a natural phenomena. I would like to think that's happening. So, um, I try to not
Ooh.
give too much weight into it. Otherwise, I have these dramatic, ridiculous dreams about things.
Yep.
Um, so I've been trying to stay pretty calm about everything because if I don't, I feel like we're going to spiral into psychosis or
I
something.
know.
So I've just been like,
It's
okay, that's
really,
enough for me today.
it's
I'm gonna
easy
go watch.
to go
Yeah,
those directions
I
too,
know, I
and
know. So that's
it's
why I've been
crazy.
like, okay.
Hmm.
And yes, and then you have that as well. And I have no idea what we can and cannot say
I don't know
about that.
either.
So
Um,
all I'll say is this. Here, I'll give my humble opinion. Okay,
yep.
at the end of the day, I think it is naive and also egotistical of our species to believe that we're the only intelligent species that exists within the confines of our universe. I think that's ridiculous.
Yep.
I think that that is, like I said, it's like ego, to assume that we are these like all powerful beings.
Mm.
Do I think that it's possible that um, they're here? Yes.
Yeah,
And that's how I feel about it. That's my genuine, honest opinion.
man. I think that's a good way to. I think that's a good way to word it and say it.
Yeah, just being
Honest.
very, very calculated.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
I'm not going to talk about anything that's
yeah.
happened recently, but I will say, do I think that it is possible? Absolutely,
Yeah.
100%. I think
Um,
anything's possible, realistically.
Interesting with the coyote. So one, Jason would recognize um my work, and he's brought this up before. Did you do work? And like, yes, yes. He would recognize my work and what I do for some people, so he'll leave that stuff out. But an imprint of what is protecting you absolutely would have showed up in his candle work. And if it looks like a wolf, it's probably the coyote satchel. So, yeah. And you have to be, remember, coyotes are tricksters or jokesters. They mess with you. Um, I've only said it once. I've been really good. Um, and so you have to be kind of in charge of them. You could give it a name if you want. Sometimes it's a little easier. I will whistle to mine when I want it to come and do something for me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, yeah. So
Let's see.
yeah, and he knows my work. Jason knows my work, and so and he knows what I do. So, and I've known Jason for years and years, so it's good thing. So because he knows not to remove certain things,
Yeah.
so but
Let's see. Maybe
uh,
they've destroyed their own worlds like we have.
probably,
Probably.
yeah.
I don't know. I like I said, if we're speaking very cautiously here, I think it is obtuse to assume that we're the only ones in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think that people should mentally prepare themselves for the idea that, potentially we're
Mm-hmm.
not alone. And if you can, my main focus at the end of the day is in having conversations like this with people is, are you prepared for ontological shock? Will you be so taken back by something that it completely destroys your frame of existence, or are you willing to say, all right, I anticipated this, I had a feeling, so
Mm-hmm.
that's what it comes down to, is where do you stand on that? And I'm at the point where I'm like, nothing really shocks me anymore. I wouldn't be surprised at the end of the
Yep.
day. So you know what I mean?
I'm not surprised anymore. On honestly, like. There's been a few incidences, some with Jules, some by myself, where things have happened that I didn't even believe in.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
yeah, I think back to, I mean, we've talked about it. It's like beating a dead horse at this point, but we've talked about it so many times. Our experience last January, a year ago, literally,
yeah.
um, really rocked my foundation of what I believed in regards to spirits and the afterlife and things like that. And that's coming from somebody who's a practitioner.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I was maybe in denial about what I believed was possible.
Yeah.
Maybe due to fear. I don't know what it was, or not wanting to admit to myself that, like, wow, some things actually are really, they really do exist. That's kind of terrifying. I'm getting chills
Yeah,
talking about it.
I know
Um
I do too already. All the hairs on
that
my
it
arm are
I'm
standing up.
telling you that people probably have watched it. If you watched the documentary we're in, you know, you'll see it really didn't convey, in my opinion, did not convey the extent or nature of severity of what we experienced. So
Yep. And still when people watch it, we feel it. And it shows up in multiple
yeah,
ways. So it's and Jules, me and Dom have talked about this. If we could undo all that and go back in time, we would have. If
oh
we
yeah,
knew what we know now, because it was like a spiritual trauma, and then we were gaslit by the other people that kind of thrive on that stuff, the darker stuff, and it was crazy. And
yeah. It
you know,
like, I don't want to go into specifics at all about
yeah,
a lot of it, obviously, but I will say this. um if if anybody's wondered why we don't post about it, it's because it was a very like super traumatic experience.
hmm
And I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't want anything to do with it.
mm-mm.
I don't
Both
want anything to
of
do with
us.
it. I don't
Hmm
want to think about it. I don't want to be affiliated with that kind of stuff.
mm
I'm all set,
Yep.
you know.
We are good, and now we know. However, what it did do to us was removed, veil's not the right word. It it removed any kind of stuff that we questioned the existence of before. That's just all gone now. Like now we just see things all the time.
Yeah, now
And
now it's I don't
it's
know.
crazy.
It sounds crazy, and
Mhm.
I know it does. But it's I think that when you are around a concentrated energy for long enough, it does affect the way that you perceive the energy. And now we're not even, we're a year away from that experience, and we're still having experiences
Yep.
that could be somewhat aligned with it. And to me, that's profoundly terrifying. But
Yep.
we deal with it as it comes. So
We do, and we're good at handling it
yeah,
now. And
yeah,
so we wouldn't wish it on anyone. We wouldn't want to do it again, but it
yeah,
definitely did some changing in the way we see things because now, like even seeing Nosferatu, that was technically dark. It didn't phase us.
yeah. No, I was just like, wow.
I'm like, that's cute. He's really cute in this. Like, that's how I was through the whole thing. I'm like, and other people were scared and freaked out by it. I'm like, this is nothing.
Mm,
I'm like,
yeah, I was like, this
so
is this is art. What are you talking
it
about?
was, yeah.
This is
Yeah.
beautiful. It's
So,
grotesque, but it's supposed to be. It's
mhm,
art.
yeah.
Let's see. Would you call that experience a form of initiation? I wouldn't use that term by any
Mm,
means. If
mm,
you were
mm-mm.
insinuating that maybe somebody was bringing us in for that purpose, I don't think so. I don't know.
No.
I don't know. At the end of the day, I can't. I'm not a mind reader. I don't know what the purpose was, other than we assumed we were supposed to be doing a job. Um, I would say it was more of a realization. I don't know. Do you know what I
Realization.
mean? I wouldn't say, I
Yeah.
don't like the term awakening. I think that that's
Yeah.
a little corny sometimes, in my opinion.
Kind of
Um,
leveled up.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Like,
I think that's a little corny. I think we came to the realization of, wow, we are in over our heads.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, wow.
Yeah.
Let's see. No, I meant like a force thing. It sounded like a bait and switch, which is messed up. Revelation. Yeah, like a revelation is a good word for it.
That's a better
Revelation.
word for
Yeah,
it. I
that's
agree
definitely
with
a better
that.
word.
Yeah.
Yes,
Um,
I agree.
yeah.
Initiation usually involves consent. I do not feel that this was a like a consensual experience by any means.
No, and I
If
agree with you.
if
You're gonna go
we
get
had
coffee with me really quick. Sorry.
That's fine. If we had known the extent of what the history was before going in, I would have said no. We didn't know anything.
No.
We were told we were not supposed to know anything, and
Mm-hmm.
because of that, we didn't do any research. I didn't even look to see how far away it was at the beginning. Um, and then like weird things were happening. Like I forgot my tarot cards.
Yeah,
That
that
never
was weird.
happens,
Yeah,
and I
that
never
was
brought them
weird.
in because I was when I ended up going back and getting them another day, I just felt like this inclination of like, I feel inclined to leave these in the car. I don't think I should bring these in.
Yeah.
Well,
I even
what? That's a
got rid of
great.
my notebook too.
That's a great question. Okay, well, what movie does compare to the experience? Okay.
Oh,
Um.
that's a really good question. Sorry, I had to get more coffee so I don't just cough up a storm while
No,
I'm
you're
sitting out
okay.
here.
I'm trying to think. Let's see.
What?
Um.
Let me think.
It's really funny. To people who like are in our close circle, I was joking. I'm like, it's like the film 13 Ghosts, where the house was created to lock
It
in
was
spirits
like
for the
that.
purpose of drawing energy off of it. That's
Yep.
generally speaking, that's the vibe.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably why they never told you anything. Yeah, definitely. 100%. We knew nothing going into it. We didn't know the
Nothing.
history. We knew. I knew the name of it, but we were told not to do research because it would be more genuine, authentic. I said, okay, that's fine. I'm in. Let's do it. Whatever. We didn't know any of the other locations either.
Yep.
But out of all the locations, there was only one of them we had profound experiences in.
Yeah.
And so that maybe that could be a testament to like we're not crazy birds here. Like that, there was only
Yep.
one place that had crazy experiences, and so crazy in fact that we were having solo experiences, we were having experiences together, we were having experiences when we broke off with other people, like it
Yep.
was you know
It
terrifying. But I'll
it
never
was.
forget my mother, Dominic's mother, and Seth's mother on the same night all said that they had a bad feeling about where we were and they really didn't know the extent of what we were
Mm-mm.
doing, and they all messaged us. And to me,
That
that
was crazy.
that was a sign. I looked at Seth and I said, "We're done. I'm
Yeah.
done. I can't do this." And if you watch the documentary, you see I cried because I was so goddamn scared at one point.
Um,
So scared. Um,
it
you
was
know.
horrible. It
Um,
felt like we walked into cancer,
yeah,
voluntarily accepting it.
yeah,
That's what it
definitely.
felt like. And because we weren't okay. And
Let's see, would
so
you call that structural architectural magic? So the thing is, the house itself, I don't believe was constructed with the intention of being a place where ritual was taking, like ceremonial magic was
yeah.
taking place. I
Hmm.
believe that the owner of the house later down the road created as a space for ceremonial magic.
Yeah.
Um,
That I
the
agree
history
with.
of it, once we learned about everything, the actual
Hmm.
history of it, we were like, what?
Yeah.
What is going on? There was Saint Benedict stuff
Mm.
taped to the freaking power boxes. Like, come
Yep.
on. And that wasn't from us. We walked in, I was like, is that Saint Benedict on the power box? And Seth was like,
Yeah.
yes, it is. Obviously, they
Hmm.
knew what was going on,
Yeah. I
So,
think the Winchester house might be a cakewalk compared to where we went.
yeah, I think the Winchester house, there is some truth and some not truth to that
Yeah.
story, in my opinion. I don't generally think it's as haunted. I think as maybe the story has been
Portrayed.
yes, like
Yeah.
it's become like an egregore, if you will. It's become like a big thing because of
Yep.
people talking about it. But
Yep.
in my opinion, this was
Hmm.
I think this would exist even without people talking about it, if that makes
Yep.
sense.
Yep. What we really learned from a lot of that was there's certain things that exist, and we were forced to understand that they exist. And I think it's helped us grow in different ways too, because we can't deny it doesn't exist anymore. And now we know that it exists in people, places, things, and it kind of broke how I connect like spirit with things. Like, I mean, obviously, not all spirits are human, and some come from realms that we should never mess with.
Yeah.
Eh,
That's how I
ever.
feel. I feel a lot of the stuff that that was being done in regards to ceremonial magic was calling forward things to do a specific task, if that makes sense, and they had to draw energy off of something. And I think that unfortunately, that's why that house was just like the perfect storm
Yeah.
for, people who at that point, I wasn't somebody who could say, on a regular basis, like, I'm having some kind of paranormal experience. I feel like and at that point too, I wasn't going into locations and saying, oh, every time I'm having an experience, in that
Hmm.
house, every like you'd go room to room and something different would be happening, and you started to feel like, am I hallucinating? Like, am
Yeah.
I actually, have I been dosed? Like, is like,
Yeah.
this is a joke, right? um
That's
like,
what we felt. And we
yeah,
questioned even
seriously,
drinking water. It was
seriously.
insane. I'm like, we
Yeah,
wouldn't drink the water.
no,
We only drink bottled
we drank
water.
bottled water.
Yep,
Yep. um
that's right.
and
There was a hanging tree in front of the
it was bad.
house.
Yeah, it was bad.
Is
Once we
oof.
looked at the history of the
Yeah.
area, and we would never have gone there.
Mm-mm.
would have vetoed. I would have vetoed if I had known.
Yeah. And Jules, me and Dom went to a cathedral that had actual relics of dead saints
Mhm.
right in front of us, and we never felt one thing like
Not a
that
thing.
house.
I'm telling you, I have not felt something like that since. I
No.
mean, eh, I've had experiences like light things,
Yeah.
but not where
Hmm.
I was terrified. I was
Yeah. Yeah.
terrified. And I've never felt terrified. And
Yeah.
I think that that says something,
Hmm.
um, because I've been in a couple of documentaries. I've done so many investigations, and a lot of the time the evidence is, you know, it comes down to like, you convey it to somebody and they're like, well, we weren't there,
Hmm.
but we were experiencing things to the extent of like, oh my God, like, we have to tell somebody about it. Like, this is insane.
Yep.
Um, but
Like there was church groups praying for us. Like it was crazy.
literally,
And
not
like,
good.
because our parents are like, okay, we need to do something because our kids are not safe.
Yeah.
And I was like, how would all three of our
They were
moms know that
having
at the same
dreams.
time?
They were
Yeah,
having dreams.
they were having dreams. Hola, Chili. Um, they were having dreams. It was, we were having insane dreams.
Yeah. Yeah. The
And
dreams were not good.
I stopped documenting. I mean, we didn't even keep photos
No, I
from
deleted
there.
everything. Everything.
Hmm.
We were so concerned, because Jason was we were
Hmm.
speaking with Jason at the time too. And, it was of Jason's advice to get rid of everything. And
Yep. And we
we ended up,
did.
Dominic and I ended up doing a working where we printed out the photos of us
Yep.
in the place, and we physically cut ourselves out of everything,
Hmm.
and did workings over that to like actually have a physical representation of us being cut away from the place.
Hmm.
Um,
You
yeah,
should talk about
I
that.
literally have I have
That
goosebumps. My
exercise.
hair standing
Oh,
up. I
me
have
too.
goosebumps
Yeah.
like talking about
Th-
it.
And
Yeah.
Dom is right. They really did talk to an actual exorcist.
Oh yes. Okay. This is a very interesting
Mhm.
experience. So we went to, ironically, we went to a seminar afterwards of an exorcist, a world-renowned exorcist, because we thought it would be fascinating just to hear. I'm by no means a religious person, as you all probably are aware at this point, but I'm never going to shy away from interesting information. And I've also never heard face to face an exorcist speak about what they do, or about possession and things like that. So I was really curious. I wanted to know what he had to say.
Yep.
So we went, and the things he explained were so spot on to some of the things we experienced. Dominic and I kept looking at each other like, this has to be a joke, right? And it was saying that, he said that sometimes they give plain names, like, so not
Mm.
their actual name, and it'll be like a sound or something like that.
Yep.
And that's what happened at the house. And I have goosebumps thinking about it. Oh, I hate
Yeah.
it. And
I
so
can't
we,
even look. I can't even look
I
at the
know, I don't
name.
like it. I don't like it.
Nope.
So we went, we went up at the end because you could shake the exorcist's hand. Dominic, if you can remember, I can't remember what his name is. He's on like podcasts and he does talks all the time. It's really interesting. Um, we went up to him and we said, "Hey," and he could tell we're not Catholic, so he knew, obviously. And we said, we wanted to tell you about an experience that we just had. Are you able to talk with us about it? And he said yes. And so we started explaining it to him, and he went like this, like he and he folded his arms and he starts rubbing his face and he goes, "Where did this happen?" And we told him, and he said, "I'll remember that." And
Mhm.
I'm telling you, this man, he was like, "Why would you go there? Like, why did you do this?" And it wasn't in like a, "How could you do
Yep.
this?" It was more of like a, "You should have known better." You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
should have known better.
Yeah.
So he
And
went from thank you to coming to what are your names? When did this happen? He did. He
yeah.
wrote stuff down. He wrote down where it is. He asked for
Yep.
the town. He asked for where, I
Yep.
think because he was going to talk to a parish in the area and see if they knew about it. So
Yeah.
it's on the Vatican's.
It's
They
on the
know about
back
it.
their list.
We
And
went right to the Vatican. I was like, mm-mm.
yeah. Yeah. And then because when we went to that church to see all the relics from the Vatican,
Hmm.
I mean, things were like we were like wrapped in some deep ass Catholic occultism. Like I hugged a monk. I, I
He
just
did.
went up and hugged him,
He did
and
hug, confirmed.
he did
He did hug him on.
a thing over me and everything. I was like, "Whoa, that was insane!" Like I'm
Yeah.
all that is magic. That is not prayer. That is magic. Like I know this kind of energy. But whatever he did broke apart hi Lulu. Broke apart that connection that all three of us
Yeah,
had.
no.
And
It's
so it was kind of amazing. And because we were watching the spirits get up and move around out of dead bodies in that church and everything, nothing scared us, nothing hurt us, nothing harmed us. It was completely different.
Yeah,
So
that was. It's funny that Dominic said that when we were at
I
that church. We were at that church. Listen, now listen. Okay, we are the kind of people that because we go and we teach about this. This is what we teach on Patreon. We teach about all different things.
yeah.
It's spirituality, religion, anything. We want to know it all. So we
Yep.
went just to see the reliquaries. We thought it was fascinating.
Hmm.
And Seth literally he looked at this monk and he goes, "Are you real?" And the monk looks at him and he goes, "Of course I am."
It was great. I could not tell if he was a dead guy
I
or if he
couldn't
was
tell either. I
real.
was like,
I was like, oh my God, he kind of looks not real, like alive, but he was he was like for us three, he was, I guess. I
yeah,
can't
yeah.
say about
Well,
anybody else, but
I think that he was like Byzantine Catholic or
yeah,
whatever,
that's what it was.
whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, he looked like
Hmm.
he stepped out of the 1200s. And
Yeah, it
like
was
he had the
crazy.
haircut, he had the robes. Like
Hmm.
we were like,
And
where the heck are
he
we?
seriously smelled like like
Yeah,
rose.
he
That's what
smelled
he smelled
like the
like
rose incense, like they
just
use at the Rosicrucian.
yeah,
That's what
just
he
like
smelled like.
so there was something magical about him. And when he hugged me and did a little blessing on me, I was like, what was that? Like it like shifted my spirit. I was just like,
Yeah,
whoa. And then after that experience, we felt lighter. Like we started to feel lighter,
yeah.
I guess.
Um,
We're
oh
still
my
not
God.
Catholic, but
I'm still not a Catholic. That does not
but
change.
yeah, no.
Um, but I'll never forget. Do you remember coming home the last night where we said we're done, we're peacing out,
Yeah.
bye bye? We
Hmm.
got back here, and God, do you remember we're driving in the car and every street sign had a name that we had heard in the house.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then we're driving past Starbucks and we look up and the name of the comic book store was the
Yeah.
name of what the
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 thing
being had
was,
said. And we were like, oh my God. We were
it
so
was
freaked
everywhere.
out. It was everywhere. We were like, I was panicking. I was panicking. I
I
couldn't believe
have
it.
no, I felt like we were in a freaking movie.
I'm
I mean, we
telling you,
really were, but
it
like the
was,
spiritual aspect was
yeah,
like,
it was the first time where I literally, I looked at everybody in the car and I said, is this a simulation?
I know. Well, and I started
What is
yelling at
going
my
on?
dad because my dad warned
Freaking,
me. And when we
yeah,
got there, I said, my dad warned me about this area, never to come here. And I knew it. And I was like, I never listened to what my dad said. I thought he was just exaggerating, the
yeah,
Appalachian Mountains, blah 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 blah. Like his experiences, everything's werewolves and vampires.
yeah.
But the one thing he said was, if you see skinwalkers
Ugh,
in those areas, you're in a bad area. I was like, I've only seen that kind of stuff on the reservation, but they're different. And it started when
it's a
I saw a
Wendigo.
wolf,
Yeah,
yeah, a
yeah,
Wendigo
it's a
wolf
Wendigo.
jumped in front of us and then walked away as a man. And I was like, oh,
Ugh.
we're on drugs. That did
I'm
not just
I
happen.
know. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I really question. I mean, we went
Mm-hmm.
through the whole house. We looked to see the
Mm-hmm.
electric. We went and saw the plumbing. We saw
Mm-hmm.
everything. We checked the carbon monoxide poisoning. We checked for
Yeah,
everything.
we did.
And everything, listen, the only thing that was a little weird was in the attic, the electricity up there was causing static electricity.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
bad
That's
grounding.
not going to make you
Yeah.
hallucinate though, you know?
No.
So we knew that there was an exterior force. Again, we didn't drink any of the water from there. We didn't eat any of the food from there.
Nope.
It was so nice seeing you too. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for the badge. I really appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Um, but we
Yeah.
didn't have anything that could have potentially dosed us. So
Yeah.
we knew it was something else. And we went through the Rolodex. We were like, are we mentally well? How are we feeling
Yeah.
when we're not in the house? And when we weren't in the house, we felt fine. It
Yep.
was okay. Um, except for the night we came back and we saw
Yep.
all those freaking signs. And I was like, I looked at Dominic, I'm like, let's go home. I need to go home.
It
So
felt
we
like a
come in the house.
trick.
It felt like a
It
trick. Yeah. It felt
it
like a
was
freaking trick.
I
That's what it
mean,
felt like.
we felt like crazy
Yeah.
people. I'm like, I'm scared to talk about
I
this
was,
because we're gonna look like we are crazy.
yeah, that's what I had said to you. I was like, I'm afraid to
Yeah.
talk about this out loud.
Yep.
So
And
we came back here and we sat in the bathtub with our feet in the bathtub and we
yeah,
soaked our
we
feet
did.
for like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
I don't know what
we
else to
sure did.
do. We
And
really didn't know what else to do.
and just everything looked like I didn't even want strangers near us after
Yeah.
that. Like, because after, I mean, we had well, the second time I flew out there was just for Jules's birthday,
Which
and
nobody knew
we
about either. We didn't
nobody
want to tell
knew.
people. We
We
didn't
didn't
want to
want
tell
to
people
talk
we were
about
going.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
we didn't want to
so
tell people.
we went and saw the museum, and then we went to that Catholic church. And when we walked into there, we just knew what we were dealing with really existed because that church stopped it. It was like there was things in that church. Some of those saints, like we're talking about like just their head in a glass case
Mm,
being displayed. Those things
yeah,
were like at work working on us without us even asking. And you could see them sitting up. I mean, oh my God. I was like, the hell
it
is
was
going
weird.
on?
It was really,
Yeah,
really weird. Yeah.
but we weren't scared, it was, we lit candles there and everything and did our stuff. And,
Mm-hmm.
um, but, and we even said, like, we wouldn't wish this on
Mm-hmm.
anyone. And it only affected the people who were actually really sensitive,
I
um, in the
mean, it
group.
affected people in our lives. I mean,
Yeah.
it was so bad that Byron was calling him
Yeah.
and he was like, "What are you
Hmm.
doing? Like I know something's wrong."
Yeah. Something's
And
not right with you. What's going on?
everyone in our circle, everyone knew like, and
Hmm.
people were messaging us and everyone knew. And we were like,
Hmm.
what
Yep.
is going on? I have chills thinking about it. Oh my God.
I
Um,
know it.
I know I keep getting freaking, my hair is standing up on my
Yeah,
arm. I keep getting goosebumps thinking about it. But
that's how I
yeah,
am too.
I know. I
I'm like,
just it makes me feel ill.
yep.
And I I wanted for a little bit, I wanted to chalk it up to maybe it was like a psychological event or something like that. But then there was footage of the stuff
Mhm.
we experienced,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
we're not
And
crazy. Oh, okay.
no.
So
And then the owners validated
that was
everything
the
we
other
talked about.
thing. That was
And
the other thing.
that blew me. I was like, what the heck? I'm like, so we're not crazy. And granted, they've been trying to sell that house for like 18 years or something, and it just won't sell.
Yeah.
Obviously. But and it was gaudy, not in like a god way, but oh, it was all Versace, Versace
It was all
wallpaper,
Versace. The
Versace rug,
wallpaper was Versace. The
everything was.
linens were
It was
Versace.
like
The everything.
Liberace's house
Yes.
almost. And it was supposed to look like a Tudor, like a 1920s Tudor, but that wasn't the original house. The foundation was the
Was from
only
like
thing
what
that
the
was original there.
1700s or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the
Yep.
basement foundation was original. I think it burned
Yep.
down one time or something
Yep.
like that,
And
but
then they rebuilt the
it was
Tudor on
also
it.
famously used during the Whiskey Rebellion, which is
Yeah.
very interesting.
I always forget that
Yep.
part. That's right.
Yeah,
Because there's
tarred and
tunnels
feathered the
underneath it.
gentleman,
And
the tax gentleman. They
yep.
tarred and feathered him
Yeah.
afterwards.
All that footage never made it in. And you know what? I'm kind of really grateful it didn't. Um, because I would have never, and we all talked about, I'm like, I didn't want to be perceived that way because I was actually really scared because it was the first time something that like that was happening to
Yeah.
me and to Jules and to Don. I'm like, I don't want people watching this and that. And fortunately, it never got in. Like the very like light, like, oh, I'm a ghostbuster with toys. You'll see all that basic stuff in there, and that's fine. Um, um, but I'm really grateful that that they were very respectful in editing it and
Mm.
didn't put that really intense stuff in because we were really scared it was going to hurt people.
Yeah, we were afraid that I was just very like, listen, I don't care about how I'm perceived in it. I
Yeah.
cried in it. I don't usually do that. That's fine.
Hmm.
Um,
I threw
I
up in
was
it.
he threw up. Yeah, I was just really concerned about like hearing the names of things and seeing the
Hmm.
locations and how that would have an effect on somebody. Do you know what I mean?
I was worried
Tiffany asked,
about that.
how do you even get rid of that type of energy in the house?
Well,
Well, what it comes down to is it's multifaceted. There are many things
yep,
that have to take place before you can even begin to deal with it. The main thing, one of the more important things is to identify like what type of magic it is. The
yep,
problem is with things like that, you either have to match or go greater than the magic that has been initiated in order to take care of something, because otherwise it's like you're throwing stones at a brick wall. You know,
yep,
eventually you might get cracks in it, but you need something that can just knock it down that is of greater value or of equal value.
yep,
What would have to happen is somebody would have to do a type of ceremonial magic probably to reverse it
yep.
realistically.
And we
So
did for a year.
yeah, like
We did.
just for us here,
Yeah. Just
no,
for us, that's it.
that
Yeah.
house,
It's,
honestly, the owners told us that if it burns down, walk away.
yeah,
So
just,
I'm gonna
yep.
assume that's
That's
how
it.
they feel about it.
Yeah, it was nuts. And then um I honestly I don't think when you go into a realm like that, not knowing, I feel part of that realm stays part of who you are,
Yeah,
but only for like a safety measure, like, oh, hey, you're near some place and this is what happened last time. And it kind of triggers your fear or your gut instinct to be like, oh, I can't go in there. You know, that I know this feeling. I got to get away from here.
it's
So
intuition.
yeah, so it's kind of like your intuition remembers. It has like a memory of that energy still attached. None of it can harm us now. Um, but it took a long time.
Yeah.
Um, and we were really angry. And then we went through our own stuff throughout the year and everything because we had to still live normally, as normal as we
Mhm.
could,
Yeah.
and taking care of kids and animals and homes and when I say kid, it's uh Dom and Jules' little girl. But but it's really like we still had to do what we needed to do to just be okay, and including cutting anything that was attached to that wasn't going to do us good
Yeah.
or cause us harm, and we did, and we had to get rid of all of it, and people wanted it to be famous with, and they can have it because we don't
Yeah.
give a shit.
That's how I feel about it. I'm of the mindset I don't care. I don't care.
Mm-mm.
I wish I was not involved in it.
Me
Um,
too.
I'm not
Yep.
embarrassed of it by any means, but I don't care.
No,
I
it's
just,
just very different than what we usually see. Like, because I'll go to haunted places here all the time,
mm,
but I grew up around these places. Like, I know them, like
mhm.
the haunted tunnels in the mountains. People are terrified of this, but we've been doing that. And I was just pulling up a photo for Jules of me and my brothers and my dad, and we were really little. It's like 1983 or 84 when my dad was taking us on ghost adventures to go ghost hunting and all this stuff before there was like toys to use or devices to help you or
Yeah.
whatever, like because he knew that he had three mediums as
Mm,
boys, you know and I would speak up about it and stuff, but he never put us in situations like that. But the only thing I could compare it to is the south side of Manitou, Colorado is very dark,
yeah.
and that's the only side of Manitou I will not go to. And so and it's pretty dark, man. And
Uh,
yeah, so we were really pushed into learning quickly how to protect ourselves on several different levels
yeah,
that we
that's a great
didn't know
point.
existed. so so we
Yeah,
did. We learned it, and we had some help, but we learned it,
yeah.
you
Um,
know. So
it made me take more caution, I would say, too, in regards
hmm
to going into places like that now, because I used to just think like, oh, if you go in, you're respectful, you come out, you cleanse yourself.
yeah,
I figured that that
yep,
was that was the best way to go about it. Now I'm of the
mm,
mindset that I have to go into it mentally prepared for quite possibly anything because you don't really
yeah,
know.
yep,
I guess that's kind of the thrill of it too, is that you're hunting, you're
yep.
searching, and unfortunately sometimes I guess you will find things when you're searching for them.
And then
And I
you are the
do feel
hunted.
I do feel that we found something there.
hmm
And I think that there are many places like that around the world that are, like that.
Yep.
I do believe that energy was created though,
That was
unfortunately.
that was
That
invoked there.
was
Absolutely. That
invoked.
was
That
put
was
there.
created.
hmm
Um, that was not something that was naturally occurring by any means.
Nope.
Um,
Mm-mm. I've only heard about it in biblical text. That's it. And I have never read the Bible, So
mhm,
it was we just knew, like, okay, this is something that we don't usually deal with, because we
yeah,
don't, and you can't, people could be like, well, I'm just surrounded by love and light, and, blah, that
mhm,
doesn't, you know what? Fuck the love and light crap, because it won't even touch that level of
no,
darkness. Like, it will devour any goodness you have and turn people against
yeah,
you. And then you are left to swim without a life preserver jacket until you figure it out.
yeah,
And
basically, you're right.
it's what we did.
Yeah,
We did, and we fought through it all year. Even with my brother dying this past year, even with everything else that was thrown into the mix this past year, we still
yeah,
handled it. And so,
yeah.
yeah.
Um, I agree. It is crazy that people live there. It's sad
Hmm.
too because the area itself, what's really weird is that this place was in a historical part of the town. And
Hmm.
originally it was kind of like an industrial town on a river. It was
Right.
on one of the
Right.
main rivers here in Pennsylvania. And it was a big town until the industry fell and a bunch of people moved
Hmm.
out, and then it became, like a food desert. It became a um like a, what's the word, where they build houses and stuff like
Yep.
that. Like it just became something that they didn't really attend to anymore, and a lot of people um left when industry left too.
Yeah.
And the people who stayed have been there forever.
Yeah.
Like they've just always been there. And I guess what can you do if, there's no industry, you don't make a lot of money, like you can't really just up and leave. So you can't
Yeah.
blame the people, I guess, at the end of the day for still living there, obviously. And a lot of it
Even
is, a lot of people are impoverished there. It's very, very sad.
it is
Um,
sad. Yeah.
but
It
the
was.
whole entire town has a very morose, sorrowful feeling to it. It's very, very sad
Yep.
there.
Like where those houses, if they were here, they would be multi-million dollar homes, you know?
Definitely. Yeah. The ones
So,
that were around the house, like the place
mhm.
that we were so ornate and opulent on the
Yep.
outside. They were so beautiful, but they
They
were
were.
like you could buy them for dirt cheap, because
It
unfortunately
was like
industry
a
some of those
hundred
don't.
thousand dollars.
$100,000. Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
was like, what?
yeah. And yeah, it's exactly, it's like a Hellmouth from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
That's how it
Uh,
felt. But
yeah.
um it it had some very charming buildings in it. It was very, very beautiful,
Yep.
opulent. You can tell the money was there at one point.
There it was.
um but it definitely, it's gone like derelict. It's a lot of
Hmm.
it is defunct banks and buildings that are dilapidated and falling apart, and it's
Yep.
just, it's sad.
Yeah, even the river was black. It
The river
was,
was dirty,
yeah,
probably from it being an industrial
I
town.
think
So the
so.
water was dirty. The well water is dirty.
Yep.
The water in the house that this took place in, it smelled like sulfur, and it was
It was
brown, if you
disgusting.
can
Yeah.
imagine. So it just was a perfect storm.
It
Perfect
was a
storm. I
perfect
don't
storm.
think it's just one thing that was creating it. I think it was
Yeah.
a perfect storm.
It was a perfect storm. There was a lot of dead people there, a lot of sadness behind all the dead people there.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
There's a lot of
a-
sadness.
and yeah, it was kind of crazy. And I just felt like us being there, it was disrespectful that we were even there.
I
We
agree.
should have never been there.
We shouldn't have
And
been there.
and
No.
and all we could do was try to help the spirits that we did see that wanted to go
Yeah.
somewhere, and that's all we could
Yeah.
do. And so,
I agree.
but I felt it was just disrespectful to the dead, and the people that don't understand that are going to pay for it.
Yeah.
So one way or
I definitely
another.
agree.
And so
Um, what
we
I think,
cut it loose,
yeah,
but
definitely. Um,
because yeah.
what I think that a lot of people forget when they go on investigations, is the like humanity that comes with it.
Hmm.
Because, take yourself out of it. If you're a skeptic and you're watching this, by all means, just put yourself in the position of, okay, I'm going into an investigation to see if there are spirits or ghosts or, whatever it is you're searching for. And at the end of the day, if you are trying to search for people who have passed on, don't you think, unless it is a residual haunting, that those people would have some kind of intelligence still? They would
Yep.
still have autonomy and personhood in a way.
Yeah.
Um, if you're going into it and you're just like, is there anybody here? Blah, 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 you're just asking these
When you're
robotic
taunting,
questions. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's
exactly. You're not
taunting,
really,
really.
you're taunting them.
Yeah.
You're not going to get answers at the end of the day that you're looking for.
Yep.
And I think that a lot of people go into investigations and they forget that they were people at one point.
Hmm.
And maybe if you play into the fact that they were people, maybe it'll, I don't know.
Yeah. Yep. It's probably My dog Lucian is right over here and he's whimpering. And so
Mm.
you're probably hearing that through the headphones because he sounds like a kid, like a child. So, and he's a bit, he gets whatever he wants from me because he's my big kid.
Child, yeah.
But, but all in all, what happened, like, one, it made us stronger as a unit, as
Mm,
friends, as family, and
definitely.
then um, and we got to reassess our goals with things.
Yeah,
And
100%.
so I keep hearing that one too. He is just a baby. He's a big baby.
He's just a baby.
um, but we've changed our perspective with a lot of things. We've gotten rid of a lot of things. I got rid of like the only weird thing that I still kept out of like all my morning jewelry and all that stuff is my rosary that has the Pope's blood in the middle of it. Like
That's
I'll keep
insane.
that. Yeah, I'll keep that
That's
because it
crazy.
doesn't do anything weird to me. But I really quite like when we brought that picture in the house,
Oh
that
yeah.
one,
Yeah.
that freaking tomb um um sketch or whatever, however they do, I can't remember, the brass rubbings. When we brought that in the house from the south side of Manitou, that I don't like to go to, but the store was there, and I started seeing shit in the house. I was like, oh no, oh no. And it didn't, it felt old and it felt heavy, like, why am I here? Like it didn't
Mm-hmm.
want to be here. It just didn't know how to leave. Because my other spirits in the house are great. There's kids that run around, they hide out, and so I figured out how to get rid of the energy that was attached to it, and now it feels way better because I love the picture. I'm like, please just clear out this picture. I want to keep you. I really like
Yeah.
you. And so, and,
Please.
and it worked. And so that was nice. But I'm very cautious what I bring in the house at
I
all.
mean, yeah, I
So,
am as well.
hmm
Again, it changed my perspective because I'm like, okay, well, if this is if the potential of this being real, like
hmm
it exists, anything theoretically
yeah,
could, So I that's how I
absolutely.
operate now. I
And
operate
that's
like that.
and we're very oh yeah, the book I was reading that I set on fire.
Well, because we don't
Yeah.
we don't read Gnostic books in our bedroom, Seth.
No, that was crazy. I was sending Jules pictures off the TV
That
screen that
was
was turned off.
guys, that was
I
that was
was
atrocious.
I was like, okay, this book's got to go. And so I just set it on fire
That was
outside, and
really bad. That was
yeah, it
really
was great.
bad.
And now we're just like more sensitive to all that stuff. So like if we get a feeling or a vibe from something, we just leave it or we walk away. We don't even go near it anymore. So um
That's fair. Does drawing a picture of an entity, say one who's attached to oneself or memory, and burning it assist with banishing, or is a form of banishment? Um, well,
um
it's tricky. It depends on who it is. It depends on what
yeah, yeah.
uh,
Yep.
magic system they're affiliated with too.
I agree.
Sometimes having a tangible image of them is dangerous. Depending on again what system it is. Um, I don't know. I don't think just the act of burning an image of an entity, if we're speaking in terms of your question, I don't think that just burning an image of an entity would do it.
No,
You know,
no. That's that's where you separate like doing a spell or a ritual into a ceremony.
correct? Yeah.
And a ceremony is like you are taking a lot of time to really remove layers of whatever the entity is that it's attached to. Because when you think of that, an entity is like Cthulhu. So you're going to see tentacles attached to everything that go back to you somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get rid of seven of the 10 tentacles, um, you have to go back because he's going to just feed until he's strong enough to come back.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's really good. Like those kind of things you can have somebody else do for you. Like even if I get asked to do crazy stuff all the time, and I'm just like, no, I'll just send you to Jason. Um, because Jason will do it. There's a lot of stuff I won't do because I am not going to risk. Because one, people want to send us like $5 to do something, and I'm like, dude, this can make me so sick that I miss a month of work where I can't pay our mortgage, I can't pay for food, I can't. So I'm not willing to do that. So I will send you to Jason, and Jason does not negotiate. And so people either want to use him or they won't.
Yeah.
But I stopped doing it because I like my little family too much and I'm not willing to lose anything. And because I was really heavy into doing removals and breaking curses and hexes and stuff for a while. But it physically makes you sick
Yeah, and
after
then
a
your
while.
plants start
Your
dying and your animals get
plants.
sick, and then
Yep.
you get sick.
Yep.
Things, there is like it's like a scale, there's a
Yeah.
balance. If you are taking too much from something, it will start to also take from you too. And that's just how the
Hmm.
balance works.
So I stopped doing that. I'll do some removals and things like that. Like I'll read the situation, but I do so much work with Jason anyways that it's just easier for me to send people to him. If
Mhm.
it's like real crazy, like they will go to
Yeah.
him. So oh yeah, I will gladly do anything like that. Anyone that hurts animals, anyone who hurts children, anyone who is hurting women or friends or family, I will ruin them.
Yeah.
Like I will, like my moral compass is just like, and I will do what it takes to make sure those people leave them alone.
Hmm.
So,
Also, we love you too, Tiffany. I hope you have a good night.
oh, thanks, Tiffany, for being here.
Yes, thank you so much.
And Tiffany,
Let's
I
see.
saw you text, but I have not responded. I think your mom texted me too, and I'm super sorry. I have like 93 or 94 text messages to still go
Ooh,
through, so I wasn't ignoring you, I promise. But
well, we've done 2 hours this evening, and we touched on basically everything I
whoa.
wanted to
Oh my
get.
God,
The only other thing,
2 hours.
for anybody who's on Patreon, this evening I will be putting up my video on the Theban alphabet. I'm very excited for that. Dominic is going to be doing his video on the goddess Bastet as well. And then Seth's video is going to be lesson 163. I'm not sure what he's going to do yet,
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna do something, and I'm very excited for it. And
cool.
so,
Yeah, so we'll
yeah.
have 161 and 162 tonight, and then Seth will be 163.
Yep.
And then on Saturday we have our Patreon group virtual for anybody who's on Patreon. You don't have to literally don't have to do anything. If you're on Patreon, you just automatically are on it. That one's going to be for balance, mental peace, and emotional protection. So a
Yeah.
nice one to kind of get you into February, kind of start the day out nice and fresh. And then tonight we're doing the fourth pentacle of Mars, and we will
Yeah.
have
That's gonna be good.
that up on our stories. We usually start around like 11 his time, 1 o'clock in the morning my time,
Yep.
generally speaking. So we should have that up
Yeah.
tonight. And then for anybody who's on there, if you're watching this afterwards and you're wondering where the videos are, we're just going to do one long video for the 7 day ritual.
Yeah.
So
Just figured
that's
that's
that's the way we're
easier
going to do it.
than
Um,
posting a 5 second clip every day,
Yeah,
which would
no,
have been
it's
annoying.
we're just gonna
So,
do a big video. And I think that was all the news I have. The only
yeah.
other thing for Patreon as well, our next actual Zoom class is gonna be on the 7th on Friday. So not
Hmm.
this Friday, next Friday. And then the following one is going to be on the 21st. So we have the
Yep.
7th and the 21st of February are going to be our two like Zoom classes for everybody.
Cannot
We also
believe
are going to
it's gonna
set
be
up.
February.
Yeah, I know. I
Oh.
can't believe it's gonna be February too. But we also are
Mm-hmm.
gonna do another like an open class to the public as well. It'll be like a lecture um, in February, so we'll get that sorted out.
Yep. We will.
And let's see what else. And then I have a red and black Eros pop, and I'm gonna drop for this Eros one. It's gonna
Can't
be a red
wait.
Eros with black on it, so it should be
It's gonna
nice. A little bit different
be,
than the pink and I think it was pink and
yeah.
white last
In
year.
pink and white. Yep.
Yep. So
Yep. I
that's the
love
plan for
arrows. I
this
am
year.
so excited to have him
I know,
just
me
full
too.
force again.
Yeah,
So,
I'm very excited too.
so he's like He's just amazing.
I
I just love him. So
know.
yeah, I just love him. But and if anyone like Jules and I are going, we're finally at a place where we can get back to doing our lives together. And
Yes.
so if any of you guys have anything you want us to really like zone in on or talk about or
Hmm.
whatever, just let us know.
Yep.
Um
We'll
well,
cover it all up.
we're open to pretty much
Yep.
anything. So yeah, so
Yeah.
we're not shy.
Not shy at all. But
So
we love you guys. Thanks for being here. If you're watching this on YouTube, thanks for watching.
yeah.
I hope you
Um,
subscribe and watch our tea time. What are we gonna call it? Tea time Tuesday podcast, I
yeah,
guess, right? For now, until
yeah,
we have an actual podcast.
yeah.
But thanks for watching, and we will see you all next Tuesday. Bye,
Yay. Love you guys.
everybody. We love you.
Thank you.